It's us now live. Corey, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Matt.
You reacted to that comment sitting here. I'll get to that in a second. This is very personal for you.
Yes,
it's very emotional. It's something you've talked about for years. Let me start by asking you, how prevalent is what you're talking about in Hollywood today?
I believe there's a lot of darkness in Hollywood right now, and I believe it's been there for quite some time. And as we've seen with the Harvey Weinstein scandal, it continues to unfold. New names come forward every day. Now there's names of misconduct with Kevin Spacey, with this, child actor who came forward today. It's going to continue unraveling. This is just the beginning. It's just the tip of the iceberg. So everything you're seeing is building up to what I believe is going to be a dam breaking open.
So let me talk about this Corey's Truth effort. You want to raise $10 million. You want to produce and direct this documentary.
It's not a documentary.
It's a film.
I need to stop you there. It is a film. I want to make a feature film, which is why we need the budget that we need. There's actors, there's scripts, there's special effects.
But is it going to involve real people, real names of people active in Hollywood right now?
It will be a very true story. We will have every name that everybody that affected my life. I'm going to give the perspective that I can give, what I viewed, what I experienced from a first-hand account.
In all fairness, though, we've been down this road before with you, and you have promised in the past to name names.
Never. In
your book, you said, when you were talking about your book, you said you were going to blow the lid off of this.
This is why I'm doing this, because when I wrote my book, the publishers prevented me from writing the names down.
That's what I meant by we were down this road before.
Yeah.
We didn't get the names we were promised last time.
Which is why I'm taking the matter into my own hands, and this is why I need America's support. I need the world's support, because I must make a film with no executives, no VPs,
but why do you need $10 million? Film students make movies for fractions.
Well, that's a film student. We're talking about a theatrical release. We're talking about I'm going to four-wall the theaters, I'm going to self-distribute, self-market, make the film, and hire a team of attorneys who are going to protect me and the film when everybody comes after me.
You've raised just under $200,000, correct?
Okay.
Is that about right? So it's going to take a long time to raise $10 million.
We've got 2 months.
And you've just told me that this is still prevalent in Hollywood. So every day you wait, every day you try to raise money, I would imagine you believe that children are being abused by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993, when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
Who you said, by the way, did not abuse you.
Who Michael was innocent, and that was what the interview was about with the police in 1993. I told them he is not that guy, and they said, well, maybe you just don't understand your friend. And I said, no, I know the difference between pedophiles and somebody who's not a pedophile because I've been molested. Here's the names. Go investigate. And let me push this forward. There are thousands of people in Hollywood who have this same information. Why is it all on me? Why is it if I don't release the names in the next 2 months, 6 months, or a year, I'm the bad guy? I'm the victim here. I'm the one who's been abused. I'm the one who's trying to come forward and do something about it.
But
hold on, please, I'm sorry. There are thousands of people out there, Matt, who have this information. Any one of those child actors that went to the teenage soda pop clubs with me when I was a kid know who those people are and the people who ran it. Anybody can go back through history and look at the teen magazines and say, what was the name of that venue they were all promoting and who ran that venue and who endorsed it?
You've said you've had death threats.
Yes.
Because you have this information and have threatened to expose it. Another reason, I think, to go to police. That's a crime, to threaten someone's life.
I've gone to the police with that as well.
And what would be wrong with going to the police now again? Didn't work out in Santa Barbara.
There's a statute of limitations, Matt, in the state of California, which protects people. It's not that way in New York. It's that way only where the movie industry is, conveniently enough, in California. That's the seriousness of this. You cannot, because if I were to go to the police, I would be the one who's getting sued. Henceforth, I need a team of lawyers and I need a team of security to be around me at all times to keep me safe so I can get this message done.
Real
I'm not playing around. It's serious stuff, and I vow I will release every single name that I have any knowledge of, period. And nobody's going to stop me this time, as long as people support this.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I wanted to do a follow-up on this Corey Feldman situation because he did an interview on the Today Show where he made reference for the most part of where a lot of this child pedophilia was occurring, and I did some digging and some research on it. But first, I just want to say, a lot of people got on me about the Corey Feldman thing, and I said that this was a publicity stunt in a sense where he could just come forward and give out the names if he wants to. He doesn't need to make a $10 million feature film. It's not even a documentary. A feature film with actors. I mean, we've seen enough feature films with actors that talk about pedophilia. You know, all you got to do is go through the history of the Lifetime channel, right? After school specials. So what I was saying was that he clearly was taking his orders just like everybody else who came forward about being sexually harassed. This is an agenda that Hollywood was pushing. I am not, however, denying that this guy was abused sexually. He most definitely was. All of these child actors are. And usually you don't have to look any further than the household to find where the abusers are and where they live. Their parents pimp them into this industry. And that's because the parents are members of secret societies, they're members of covens, they're members of these cults, these satanic rings, and that's the stuff that they cover up and won't talk about. Corey Feldman is not going to come out and say that there's a satanic underground of people who worship Aleister Crowley's teachings, who worship Lucifer, and believe that, you know, through these pedophilia acts they perform black magic rituals. He's not going to say that stuff. Okay? And that was the point that I was trying to make. That's never coming forward. But what he did mention, if you listen to this interview, because you could see that Matt Lauer was getting under his skin by kind of questioning him and doubting him and poking him. And he shouted out about soda pop clubs. Well, how interesting. Because all one would have to do then, if you're telling us about these soda pop clubs, he's referring to a place called Alphy's. Alphy's Soda Pop Club. Now, I'll start here with an article that was in Vice from years ago when Corey Haim was still alive. And it talks about Alphy's, and then Haim talks about a falling out with the guy and said he was a very, very, very bad person. F him. He can't be trusted. He's very, just what he's done and all this stuff. He alluded to it. He didn't say it. They didn't flat out call him a pedophile, but obviously you could see photographs of Haim, Feldman, all of these child actors at this soda pop club, which is for kids, where adults clearly in Hollywood went to prey on these children. So the Vice article says, Alphy Soda Pop Club, the one and only disco designed for kids in the industry, enjoyed a lifespan of 3 years in Hollywood from 86 to 89, with a clientele age 16 and under, which is just disgusting. The club guaranteed a dance floor full of the hottest teen stars, as well as all the free soda you could drink. It was the ultimate teenage wonderland. And if you go through the interview here with Corey Haim, he starts to discuss this guy, Alphy, who has a connection. And he says, these are very vague memories. I think I got a call from Corey Feldman. He said, listen, I know this person named Alphy, and he's going to start throwing these parties with Randy Miller, the son and partial owner of New York Seltzer. Now, if you look at this New York Seltzer and this soda pop thing, they had them in Los Angeles, New York, and I believe one was also in the UK, in London. So Corey Feldman calls him and starts talking to him about it. He said, how do you feel about going and checking the scene? He said, let's go, man. We went down there. It was cool. I met Alfie and Randy. Then it started happening once a week, and it went on for years. I was going out with Alyssa Milano at the time, and also kind of going out with Nicole Eggert. We were all seeing one another off and on. We were young. It was the 80s, and it was different times. We were all friends. We were like the Brat Pack, but we had our own people. So you can see photographs of these kids inside of these clubs, inside of this club, this soda pop club. Now, you had to be exclusive. You had to be a member. It wasn't like you could just show up there and go get autographs of some child actors. You had to be members. And clearly, they invited what kids, Hollywood kids, they wanted to be a part of it, who were a part of the industry. And you could see here, I believe this is the guy. This is Alfie here, you see with this child. If you do some digging, his name's Alfie Hoffman. Okay? Alfie Hoffman. And he still has, archived stuff from, from his MySpace profile. Yeah, I kid you not. from MySpace, and you could see he posted a lot of these photographs from these teen magazines where all these kids are inside of this nightclub. Okay? You could see video of Alphy's Soda Pop Club online on YouTube. There's some band videos. And he even has the forms on here. Membership application, $35. And you can see all the events they have. Eastern Weekend Bash, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., $10 non-member cover charge. Private teen clubs. Look at some of the words. Private, exclusive. They even put the certain ages on there. Under 18. Some of them say under 16. You can see the logo here, the connection to New York Seltzer. All right. You can see the times that it's open till. Kind of reminds you a little bit of what? Well, Comet Ping Pong, right? Open exclusively, children of all ages, till 1 o'clock in the morning. And you would think this right here would be a red flag. But you know who's responsible? The parents are responsible. The parents who allow their kids to go to these clubs unsupervised. You know, they get in there and they go, oh, well, you know, the Alphy's going to take care of everything. And some Hollywood directors like maybe Steven Spielberg will drop in. So you don't have anything to worry about. They're big, powerful Hollywood people. Nobody would molest or do anything to your children. And these kids kept going back. Haim said he went every week for 4 years. And this is what Feldman's referring to when he says, look up the soda pop clubs, because this was the place where these children would go and the predators would come there and prey on them. So it's Alphy's Soda Pop Club. I wanted to do a video on it just to get out there. It's no longer in business, but you could see this guy shamelessly putting all of these pictures up of himself, of the club, from 86 to 89. So why is this so hard for Corey Feldman if what he really wants to do is help protect, you know, people out in Hollywood? And who knows what this guy Alphy Hoffman's doing now, right? He probably has some type of casting agency, you know? These predators don't stop. They continue going on. So the point I was making the first time with the Feldman video is that, listen, he's probably himself involved. And I know it's hard for people to grasp, but you could do the right thing. You can come out and give the names, or you could just, you know, tell people you need $10 million to make some stupid movie that, you know, nobody needs to see, that'll just mimic what we've seen on after-school specials. You know, you want to stop the abuse from happening today, then give names out of people. But that's not going to happen. If you want to stop abuse from happening, expose the underground occult. Expose the secret societies. Expose the Talmud. Expose all this stuff that they follow and believe. Then the truth gets out there. But until then, it's just another runaround. We've heard this for years. Feldman's been talking about this for years. Okay, even in his own book, he wrote an autobiography and promised to give names in the book, and he didn't give names in the book. So I'm not buying what he's attempting to do, but I'm not questioning the fact that he was molested or any of that stuff. I'm questioning his agenda here, because it's clearly just fitting into this Hollywood harassment storyline where we need to clean up Hollywood. You know, that's what they're pushing. Oh, all these men in Hollywood are harassing people and pedophiles and all this stuff. It's all part of their distraction game that they're playing right now. So this is Alphy's Soda Pop Club. You can see a lot of these young 80s stars attending this place. Children's membership fees. It's disgusting. Absolutely sickening. Membership fees for these kids so that, you know, Hollywood producers and who knows who else would show up there and probably put stuff in their sodas, and who knows, you know? Well, we know. I mean, we know what was going on. And even Corey Haim talked about going to Alphy's house. He had multiple bedrooms, and they would lure him over there and say, you can come play with my animal, like his tigers. He had tigers, this weird stuff like Michael Jackson. You know, it's just very strange behavior that a lot of these people have, a lot of these kids end up having, because they go through this. They're abused their entire lives. So I wanted to just get this out there about this Soda Pop Club. It's no longer in business, but it's something to know of. These are the types of fronts that they use, right? Soda Pop Club. What's it geared towards? Kids, right? And Haim talked about how they would serve them liquor, not tell anybody, even though they said it was just a Soda Pop Club for exclusive members. Because that's how they work. They use these places as fronts. It sounds like a good, clean time. And unfortunately, that's not what's going on. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.